Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Hope that you're having a phenomenal day, morning, afternoon, or night, whatever time that this video is reaching you. I hope that everything is going well for you. As today we dive into Alanis Morissette, we're going to be taking a listen to her third studio album, released in 1995. The name of that album, Jagged Little Pill, an album that has been the name, like the album itself, has been just widely recognized and such. And we actually covered a track from the album with You Ought to Know many years ago. And now it's time to dive into the full album. We are diving in courtesy of Subway Goddess. This was suggested and sponsored from Subway Goddess. So thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support as well. And then the album had also been mentioned / recommended by Mega Freddy. I see 2 years ago. David Mahalchik. I got you, David. John Fazone. Mighty V, you mentioned this album. STYOT. Gray T Dusty, Sidecar Dog, and Mega Freddy again, as I look at 3 years ago. So thank you guys so much for the recommendation as well. When I look back at when we had listened to You Ought to Know, I actually see that the music was blocked in that video, apparently. But so I would not be surprised if the music is blocked in this album reaction. If it is, then I will, of course, as usual, put it down below the link to Patreon where you can watch it for free. You don't have to do anything, just that's where it would be. But otherwise, hopefully this maybe slides by. Maybe that was just a one-off. I can only hope. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. Hope that you guys are here for it. Of course, if you don't mind pressing that like button, it helps a great deal. Just as a first thing, the Buy Me a Coffee is there. If you have a song request and you'd like to sponsor a song request, you can do so over there. The Patreon has exclusive content as well if you're interested. But that's kind of the gist. That's kind of the usual. I just got back from the store. My wife had forgotten something that she needed, so I decided to run out really quick, grab that, and then come on back. It's about almost 8 o'clock actually right now. Can I tell you, before we dive into it, you know when you need like two things from the store, but you decide to go to the store at like prime time, rush hour, everyone, their mother and their uncle and their nephews are there, and it's just like crowded, and you're just standing there with like two things in your hand? Every time. But that's okay. We're here. You're here, and there's nothing left to fear except this pill that we have to swallow. And it might be a little jagged going down. Shall we dive into it? Shall we get into it? Start the album. Listen, I think I've delayed enough, talked enough without talking about the music. So let us go ahead and begin with the first track, All I Really Want. When we get to You Ought to Know, I'm not going to spend too much time on it since we've already heard it here, but otherwise we'll just dive straight on in. Got a little cup of coffee here. Decaf, since like I said, it's almost 8 o'clock at night. And I do not need the caffeine that late. After 2 o'clock or so, no caffeine for me. All right, Jagged Little Pill. Here's to you. It's hot.
Do I stress you out? My sweater's on backwards and inside out, and you say, how appropriate. I don't want to dissect everything today. I don't mean to pick you apart, you see, but I can't help it. And there I go, jumping before the gunshot has gone off. Slap me with the splintered ruler, and it would knock me to the floor if I wasn't there already. If only I could hunt the hunter. And all I really want is some patience.
That's that 90s groove for sure.
Do I wear you out? You must wonder why I'm relentless and all strung out. I'm consumed by the chill of solitary.
I like her just like stream
I like
of
a Stella.
consciousness.
I
I like how raw her performance is.
And I am fascinated by the spiritual man. I'm humbled by his humble nature. Yeah. And what I wouldn't give to find a soulmate, someone else to catch this drift. And what I wouldn't give to meet a kindred.
I like how unpolished her vocal performance is. Just let it go. Loosen the vocals.
Enough about me. Let's talk about you for a minute.
Spin it
Enough
around.
about you. Let's talk about life for a while. The conflicts, the craziness, and the sound of pretense is falling all around. All around. Why are you so petrified of silence? Here, can you handle this? Did you think about your bills? Your
I thought
extra
something
deadlines?
messed up
When
on my
you think you're gonna
computer.
die? Or did you long for the
That's
next
funny.
distraction?
That's really funny.
And all I need now is intellectual intercourse, a soul that dig the hole much deeper. And I have no concept of time other than it is playing. If only I could kill the killer. And all I really want is some peace, man. A place to find a common ground. And all I really want
She has a really like unique
is a
pronunciation.
wavelength. And all I really want is some comfort. A way to get my hands untied.
Oh,
And all I really want is some justice.
so can I say the thing that immediately sticks out in this song is her unhinged vocal style, in which, you know, like if you're trying to sing like in a polished, you know, hit the notes kind of way, you kind of tighten certain vocal cords and you have a certain control over them. There's a certain restraint because you're kind of squeezing out the notes, you know? You're not just, you're putting something to it. But I really like how unrestrained and loose her style is here. And the way that she like this isn't exactly right, but kind of squeaks and her voice comes off the rails as she's talking, and it's very much like a stream of conscious that she just allows to flow and spew out. Some of the thoughts are beautiful, some of them are a little jagged, but I like how she lets them loose nonetheless and just allows them to go out unfiltered, unfettered, unbound, without anything holding them back. I really like that style, and I think it works really well for her, and it makes me think like, okay, this is going to be a silly aside, but it's just where my mind goes, and honestly, I can't help it, and, you know, at least impartial, you're here for where my mind goes. It kind of makes me curious to hear like how she could fit into like a metal kind of song. Maybe she wouldn't like completely go for like the vocal fry or such, but her voice, at least in this track, I could hear some moments where I could hear her lending her voice to like a metal song or such. It's just where my mind goes. I wouldn't doubt it. But really like her style. I like her attitude. There's a bit of sarcasm, and I think that just works really well in kind of, at least with this album, introducing us to her character, her personality, and overall her style, of which musically, this is very, 90s alt rock, alt pop kind of style. No doubt about that. I like a little bit of harmonica that's in there, a little guitar. Like musically, it's nice. It's nice background, but I just like her vocal style and the delivery. And like I said, in my opinion, kind of how unhinged it is. I just really like the way that she lets it loose. Of course, we'll see how that changes and how that progresses through the rest of the album and kind of where we go from there. What do you say? We look at these lyrics. Do I stress you out? My sweater's on backwards and inside out. And you say, how appropriate. I don't want to dissect everything today. I don't mean to pick you apart, you see, but I can't help it. This other person on the other end of the line is saying, oh, your sweater's on backwards and inside out. And they say, how appropriate. Why is that appropriate? Because they're making a commentary on her through her clothing. And then she retorts, well, I don't want to pick you apart, but I can't help myself. And there I go, jumping before the gunshot is going off. Slap me with a splintered ruler. And it would knock me to the floor if I wasn't already there. If only I could hunt the hunter. Saying, I just can't help myself. And all I really want is some patience, a way to calm the angry voice. And all I really want is deliverance. And I mean, that part, she really lets it loose. And I like that. All she really wants, right? She doesn't want to snap back like that. She doesn't want to have that. She wants a little patience, calming the angry voice. But man, this other person makes it so hard. Do I wear you out? You must wonder why I'm relentless and I'm strung out. I'm consumed by the chill of solitary. I'm like Astea. I like to reel it in and then spit it out. I'm frustrated by your apathy. So this is also lyrically really working with the delivery style that she has here. And I'm frightened by the corrupted ways of this land, if only I can meet the maker. And I'm fascinated by the spiritual man. I'm humbled by his humble nature. She's even looking at other people and wanting to learn from their examples. And she's, as she says, fascinated, interested in them, perhaps wanting to achieve what others have in some respect. And what I wouldn't give to find a soulmate, someone else to catch this drift. And what I wouldn't give to meet a kindred, like a kindred spirit. Well, apparently it's not with this other person. Enough about me. Let's talk about you for a minute. There she goes. She's ready to go off. Enough about you. Let's talk about life for a while. Like already done with you. The conflicts, craziness, the sound of pretenses falling all around. Enough of the bushes. Stop beating around them. Time to get to the heart of the matter. Why are you so petrified of silence? Here, can you handle this? Did you think about your bills, your ex, your deadlines, or when you think you're going to die? Or did you long for the next distraction? Perhaps she feels like she was just a distraction. This relationship was a distraction. And all I need now is intellectual intercourse, a soul to dig a hole much deeper. I have no concept of time other than it is flying. If only I could kill the killer. Just like she said earlier, hunt the hunter. And each time we go to the pre-chorus here, it changes what she wants. A soulmate, intellectual intercourse, and so on. Want some patience. There's always something that she wants, right? As she mentions in the title of the track, all I really want. All I really want is some peace, a place to find common ground. All I really want is a wavelength. Can we be on the same wavelength? She just wants a wavelength, a direction. All I really want is some comfort, a way to get my hands untied. All I really want is some justice. And then she repeats in the outro, some patience, deliverance, common ground, justice. And you could kind of break that down into just those things, right? Patience, deliverance, common ground, justice. When you break it down to the simplest things, it's not so unusual. There was an article about this particular track, All I Really Want. Let's see. It's the sixth and final single, released in the UK in 96 and in Australia in 97. It was the last song written for this album, but originated from a song called The Bottom Line. The single peaked at number 14 on the US Billboard Modern Rock charts. And on from there. It says it features prominent harmonica, distorted guitars, drum programming, creating an alternative rock and pop rock arrangement. Yeah, we heard. Rapid fire stream of consciousness phrasing. Yeah, I said that. And it has some aggressive instrumental textures with polished studio clarity, reflecting the post-grunge aesthetic. I can kind of hear a little bit of that in the background. Expresses a desire for genuine connection and personal freedom. Throughout the song, Morissette references Astea, the cold and emotionally distant character from Charles Dickens' novel Great Expectations, using the comparison to explore themes of emotional unavailability and learned defensiveness in relationships. The song stream of consciousness style presents a series of desires and frustrations, with Morissette listing what she wants from a partner in life. including honesty, understanding, and the freedom to be herself without judgment. And I like this. The lyrics capture a restless, introspective state of mind, moving rapidly between vulnerability and self-assertion, rather. Because just like the line, enough about me, let's start talking about you. And the whole song lyrically kind of captures that, There's a little introspection. There's a little extrospection, I guess you could say. Very interesting. Go to Yashiki on Groove Activator. I never heard of this. A groove box is a self-contained electronic or digital instrument for the production of live loop-based electronic music. A groove box? I've never heard that. I'm mildly curious, if you don't mind. If you don't mind an early intervention and an early diversion, I'm kind of curious about this groove box. I just want like a little...
This might be the best groove box for beginners. You get 4 drum tracks.
It's like an Ableton. I used to have an Ableton.
And it's really easy. Also get side chaining.
Huh. Okay, I get it now. Okay, I just wanted like a general look at what it was. But okay, it's like an Ableton. I used to have one. Launchpad. Man, I used to have one. Anyways. Let's move on to the next track here, which, like I said, is You Ought to Know, which you ought to know, like I said in the beginning, that I've covered that track already, so we're not going to spend, like, really too much time on it, but we'll listen to it nonetheless. Here we go.
I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you both.
Does she? Doesn't sound very confident, does it?
Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater? Does she speak eloquently? And would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. 'Cause the love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it.
There's that grungy guitar in the background.
Tell him. It's not fair to deny me all the cross I bear that you gave to me.
It's a good line. You love that little piece of bass too. Come on.
Things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know. Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? I hate to
see, like, she snarls that a little bit.
There was a slap in the face.
Listen to Flea.
How quickly I was replaced. And are you thinking of me when you fuck her? 'Cause the love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it enough for you to be open wide. No.
This has such a like an attitude to it. I like the kind of snarly anthemic chorus. I like how Flea's bass line just pumps it up. it's a very easy song to see why it's so popular, why it hits so great. I mean, just, her singing, the way she shifts between something very almost like snarly, like the chorus here is a snarling anthem. That that is how I would best describe it. And I love how just angry it is. I love how the bitterness seeps through. I like how all of her emotions comes through in every single respect from the very beginning when she's wishing, I wish you well, trying to send you some good vibes and everything, that now that you've moved on from me. And even the way she's saying it, like she's saying the words, but the feeling is quite the opposite. And then when it gets into the song, then we get the true emotional release, and then we get the true feelings. Are you really? Really? And I think that just comes through so nicely. Flea's bass line is wonderful, especially those little moments where you really feel it pop up. Like it just comes up a little bit more. And it's not like he's playing overly complicated from what I can hear. It's not like he's doing his, like his, you don't know why that was my Flea impression, but it wasn't off. Like he's not really doing too much of that. He's just giving a little pop every once in a while, but he's kind of keeping it more towards the background. You also have Navarro here. From Jane's Addiction, Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction. I don't know why my mind was going to Alice in Chains, but no. And I really like his guitar here. Of course, it's like we mentioned before in the previous track, hitting that kind of grunge sound. Definitely get that here. The drumming is wonderful as well. Drums performed on this particular track by Matt Logg. And like, it's just, like I said, a perfect 90s anthem of sarcasm, bitterness, a little bit of anger, all wrapped around in a very, very catchy track from the beginning to the end. And I really like the chorus, though. The chorus is, it makes you like want to jump up. Can I tell you? I can't speak on her music because I haven't really heard it besides maybe a couple hits here and there. But I feel like I can't even speak about her because I haven't heard her music. So I can't say. But I feel like this is I can't even make the comparison because it could be wrong. This in my mind, in my ignorant mind, this sounds like what like Avril Lavigne like used to be, kind of like that punk kind of fun. Anyways, let's look at the lyrics on this one. I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you. An older version of me, is she perverted like me? Would she go down to you in the theater? Does she speak eloquently? Would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. Because the love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it enough for you to be open wide. No, and every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me you'd hold me until you died, but you're still alive. But you're still alive. And she says that with just a little bit of And I like this. I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You gave me this cross to bear. You ought to know. I know the album's called Jagged Pill, but like this, the chorus, that's the pill. You seem very well. Things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know. Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? Hate to bug you in the middle of dinner. It was a slap in the face how quickly I was replaced. And are you thinking of me when you're with her? I mean, just bitterness in every sense of the word. And I like how, she says, you seem good. Everything seems well with you. Oh, me? No, not at all. But you ought to know about that. But you know about that. Let's read a little bit about this track. Despite much speculation concerning whom the song is about, Morissette has never disclosed the person's identity and has never indicated any intention to do so. It's a commercial success, reaching the top 10 in 3 countries and the top 40 in 6 other countries. She also held the record for longest run by a woman atop the Billboard Alternative Airplay chart until 2013. Ranked among the best songs of the 90s. Says, let's see. Welch told Headquarters he was impressed by her spectacular voice, her character, her lyrics. At the time, she was still living with her parents. Together, they decided it would be best for her career to move to Toronto and start writing with other people. According to Ballard, the connection was instant, and within 30 minutes of meeting each other, they had begun experimenting with different sounds in Ballard's home studio. Ballard also declared to Rolling Stone, "I just connected with her as a person, and almost parenthetically, it was like, wow, you're 19? She was so intelligent and ready to take a chance on doing something that might have no commercial application." Although there was some question about what she wanted to do musically, she knew she didn't want to do, or what she didn't want to do, which was anything that wasn't authentic and from her heart. And I think 100% you can feel that this is directly from her heart. As she says, she's never revealed who the song is about. So nonetheless, on different occasions, actor comedian Dave Coulier, "Cut It Out," has alternately admitted to and denied being the subject of the song. And it goes on from there. Really big track, obviously, with a lot of achievements in the performance area. All right, let's move on into the next track here, which is Perfect. It's getting dark, huh?
It's never quite enough. If you're flawless, then you're in my love. Don't forget to win first place. Don't forget to keep that smile on your face. Be a good boy. Try a little harder. You've got to measure up. Make me prouder. How long before you screw it up? And how many times do I have to tell you
There she loosens
to
it.
hurry up?
I like the way she sang that part.
With everything I do for you, the least you can do is keep quiet. Be a good girl. You gotta try a little harder. That simply wasn't good enough to make us proud. I'll live for you.
Take it up.
Get what I never was. If you're the best, maybe so am I. Compared to him, compared to her, I'm doing this for your own damn good. He'll make up for what I blew. What's the problem? Why are you crying?
She really built that up.
Push a little farther now. That wasn't fast enough to make us happy. We'll love you just the way you are. If you're perfect.
Wow. Okay. So this is a track that it's kind of deceiving in a particular way. Once it starts off, okay, it's very much steeped in like 90s alternative sound, right? Guitar, melancholic playing, a little bit of drums, a little bit of bass. Sounds nice. It's a pleasant setting. It's a pleasant, calm, peaceful setting. But then it's deceiving, isn't it? As the track builds up, from the first kind of pop in the music, and she lets loose the reins of her voice. All of a sudden, you can't put the toothpaste back in the toothpaste tube, and she just goes. Like, for example, You Ought to Know, the chorus to me is like incredibly cathartic almost in this release kind of way, right? With anger. This one hits a very similar path and walks a similar path, but yes, there's anger and frustration in there, but I almost feel like there's a deeper sense of sadness or hurt or something like that in this one. It sounds a lot more melancholic and in a burning, hurtful kind of way. And I just think the way that she emotes that is really fantastic. In this track, the way that it builds up, builds up, builds up to that climax, and then just lets it go. Clears the air, clears the dust, and you're kind of left in this barren landscape to kind of mull it over a little bit. I think that that is incredibly done. Really, really fantastic from her. And listening to her voice, there's facets of her voice in which she kind of strays into a similar range and perhaps even tonal pitch as like a Kate Bush, but she's using her voice in almost like a distorted guitar to an extent, because there's that edge to it. There's that roughness, that grit to the way that she applies some of it to her voice. And I think it comes across really well. But then at the same time, there's parts where, of course, she smooths things over and lightens things up. And if I can use the reference again, her voice hits more of an acoustic guitar. So it's kind of interesting how she has a very unique range that she uses really, really thoroughly to hit certain emotional high and low points, I guess you could say. I feel like myself, I'm smaller than I usually am. Maybe. All right, sometimes is never quite enough. If you're flawless, then you'll win my love. Don't forget to win first place. Don't forget to keep that smile on your face. Be a good boy, try a little harder. You've got to measure up. Make me prouder. How long before you screw it up? And how many times do I have to tell you to hurry up? With everything I do for you, the least you can do is keep quiet. Jeez. So I couldn't help but see up here, like talking about from the perspective of a parent and their child. Wow. And you know what's sad? You know, as like I'm reading this, and I mean, I was raised by two extremely loving and wonderful parents who I couldn't ask for better parents. So in my, mind, this is very exaggerated. But can I tell you, in the reality, this is sometimes the reality for how some parents may approach their raising of their children, which is, it's a bit much. Come on. And by a bit, I mean a lot. Are you kidding me? How long before you screw it up? How many times do I have to tell you to hurry up? And then saying the least you can do is keep quiet for everything they do for you? Come on. And then it goes back and forth. Be a good boy. Try a little harder. Be a good girl. You got to try a little harder. That simply wasn't good enough to make us proud. Do you think that this is something fictional that Alanis is kind of, just making a story about? Or is this perhaps more personal, autobiographical, and in reference to her growing up? I don't know anything about her personal life, so I'm not going to make any assumptions, but it could go either way, of course. And then I'll live through you, vicarious through you. I'll make you what I never was. So in there, we're getting kind of the psychology behind why this parent is acting this way to this kid. Or their kid. That doesn't excuse it, but it gives reason, perhaps. If you're the best, then maybe so am I. Compared to him, compared to her, I'm doing this for your own damn good. You'll make up for what I blew. What's the problem? Why are you crying? Isn't that like, I think that that's such a well-written stanza there. Because of course, reading the verse and the chorus is preceding it, you're looking at this like, what's wrong with this parent? And reading the bridge, you now understand what's wrong with the parent. That doesn't make their actions any better, nor does it justify anything. But now we get into the mindset, the psychology. They take out their frustration and their lack of fulfillment on their kid. We'll love you just the way you are if you're perfect. Well, really, really insightful writing, in my opinion. I think that is so wonderfully written, and the way the music came up so heavy after the serenity and the calmness of everything just broke through really, really well. Hand in my pocket. Starting my coffee already.
I'm broke, but I'm happy. I'm poor, but I'm kind. I'm short, but I'm healthy. Yeah. I'm high, but I'm grounded. I'm sane, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm lost, but I'm hopeful.
that bass.
And the other one is giving a high five.
Something for herself, something for someone else.
I feel drunk, but I'm sober. I'm young and I'm underpaid. I'm tired, but I'm working, yeah. I care, but I'm restless. I'm here, but I'm really gone. I'm wrong and I'm sorry, baby. And what it all comes down to is that everything's gonna be quite alright. 'Cause I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one is flicking a cigarette.
Like that guitar that swirls in there. Is that harmonica returning?
And what it all comes down to is that I haven't got it all figured out just yet. 'Cause I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one is giving a peace sign. I'm free, but I'm focused. I'm green, but I'm wise. I'm hard, but I'm friendly, baby. I'm sad, but I'm laughing. I'm brave, but I'm chicken shit. I'm sick, but I'm pretty, baby. And what it all boils down to is that no one's really got it figured out just yet. But I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one is playing the piano. And what it all comes down to, my friends, yeah, is that everything is just fine, fine, fine. 'Cause I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one is hailing a taxi cab.
It's almost like a. Nah, never mind. There's a little bit of a turn in this track emotionally where I feel like there's a little bit more of a self-confidence that comes through here. There's almost a little bit more of a pride in herself. And, like this feels like if we were to look at this as a progressive album in the sense of the lyrics, the story, the emotions that we're moving through song to song, this feels like something of a reclamation of herself and of like who she is, kind of discovering herself and having a little pride in that, and acceptance in that as well. And so the music moves her along in a very easygoing pace. You got the beat from the drums back there, and I like how her harmonica returns here in this track. There's some nice swirls of guitar. Like everything musically so far, like the album's been nice, but not necessarily outstanding, and it's not blowing my mind. But I am really impressed by her lyricism, her singing, and even in this track, right? Like, let me pull it up here real quick. Like even in this track, she's giving us a little of everything, a little back and forth. I'm broke, but I'm happy. I'm poor, but I'm kind. I'm short, but I'm healthy. I'm high, but I'm grounded. I'm sane, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm lost, but I'm hopeful. And I think that the last line here kind of sums up everything. Maybe at this particular point, she doesn't quite know who she is, where she's going, where she is, and those questions that come with youth. But at the same time, she's happy. She may not have everything, but she's happy. She may not understand everything, but guess what? She's moving on. Like, this is a track that feels like she has some backbone and like reassurance personally at this particular point. Through the other track, she's been beaten down, taken advantage of, perhaps. Like, she's gone through a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. And often you can, of course, find yourself down, for lack of a better word, down in the dumps from that. Reasonably so. But I like how this feels like, hey, that dark cloud, there actually is a silver lining involved, and there is something to look forward to. And what it all comes down to is that everything's going to be fine, because I've got one hand in my pocket and the other one's giving a high five. She's got a little something for herself, but she's also still willing to perhaps give someone else a little something too. I feel drunk, but I'm sober. I'm young. I'm underpaid. I'm tired, but I'm working. I care, but I'm restless. I'm here, but I'm really gone. I'm wrong, and I'm sorry, baby. There's even a little self-reflection and apology that she sends out. It's not all the other's fault. And she repeats, of course, the lines here, and this time she says, "Because I got one hand in my pocket and the other one is flicking a cigarette." And what it all comes down to is that I haven't got it figured out yet, because I got one hand in my pocket and the other one's giving a peace sign. I'm free, but I'm focused. I'm green, but I'm wise. I'm hard, but I'm friendly, baby. I'm sad, but I'm laughing. I'm brave, but I'm, chicken stuff. I'm sick, but I'm pretty, baby. It all comes down to I got one hand in my pocket, the other one's playing a piano. One hand in my pocket, the other one's hailing a taxi cab. Every time it's, of course, progressing, into the end where she's moving. First, giving a high five. Then, flicking a cigarette. Then, giving the peace sign. And then, playing the piano. Playing a little, music for your soul. Then, hailing a taxi cab. Moving on. So I like how little something for her in that personal moment and a little something to look forward to and in her future. At least that's how I read it. Let's see. The song generally received favorable reviews. Let's see. Also hit substantial success on the radio. Became her second #1 hit on the U.S. Billboard Modern Rock Tracks also. Let's see. Hand in My Pocket was written by Morissette and Ballard. Let's see. We know that they connected. We got to repeat the same thing we just read on the previous track for the most part. The chorus of Hand in My Pocket uses a poetry technique, rhyme juxtaposition, as its primary lyrical structure, as exemplified by the offset coupling of the first and second stanzas for each chorus. In the first chorus, for example, fine, fine, fine is coupled with high five, when it should, according to traditional rhyming schemes, be instead set against a peace sign, which closes the third chorus. And I see. We're doing some fun rotational, some prose rotations there. And it goes on from there. It says it was served as the theme song in an unaired pilot episode of Dawson's Creek. Never seen one thing about Dawson's Creek, don't know a thing about it. But Morissette decided not to have it used as a theme after the show was picked up. Not that she needed it, but that would probably been like a good little, some royalties coming through from that. And there you go with the chart information as well. Let us move forward to Right Through You, like an arrow.
Wait a minute, man. You mispronounced my name. You didn't wait for all the information before you turned me away. Wait a minute, sir. You kinda hurt my feelings.
Ooh, nice little hi-hat.
You see me as a sweet back-loaded puppet, and you got meal ticket taste. See right through you.
Yeah, we're bringing it back here. Allows that to drift. I love the hi-hat work here.
You took me for a joke. You took me for a child. You took a long, hard look at my ass and then played golf for a while.
Hey.
You shake us like a fish. You pat me on the head. Took me out to wine dine 69, but didn't hear a damn word I said. See right through you. I know right through you. I feel right through you. I walk right through you.
yelp there too.
Oh, hello, Mr. Man. You didn't think I'd come back. You didn't think I'd show up with my army and this ammunition on my back.
Oh.
Now that I'm Miss Thing, now that I'm a zillionaire, you scan the credits for your name and wonder why it's not there. I see right through you. I know right through you. Feel right through you. I walk right through you.
Yeah. I like when she rocks out a little bit. I think that's where she like really excels. She excels in a few different places, but when the music is just like going and we're kind of hitting that anthemic kind of grungy kind of sound, yeah, she fits so perfectly within that. Her voice soars, shrills, screams like a banshee. Like it just works really well in, like I said originally, that unrestrained way. I would love to hear her. I know it's impossible now, but I would love to hear her like sing a Nirvana song. Can you imagine her voice with Cobain? I feel like a pairing between them would work really, really well, and they would kind of work and bounce off of each other really nicely. Thinking about it, really like the drum work in here, which is once again performed by Law. I really like the hi-hat work and just the heaviness he brings to it. I just really like the drumming on this one. I really like the music as well. The guitar is nice and heavy, nice and crunchy. You got some nice long sustained notes in here. Like this one lets loose a little bit, and then at the same time, so does Alanis. I mean, this one hits, it smacks you like a bus, like in Final Destination that one time. Wait a minute, man! You mispronounced my name. You didn't wait for all the information before you turned me away. Like you didn't even get to know me. Wait a minute, sir. You kind of hurt my feelings. You see me as a sweet back-loaded puppet. You've got meal ticket taste. Sweet back-loaded puppet. I see right through you. I know right through you. I feel right through you. I walk right through you. You're transparent. You took me for a joke. You took me for a child. You took a long look at
Watch your profanity.
and then played golf for a while. Your shake is like a fish. You pat me on the head. You took me out to wine, dine, 69 me. I didn't hear a word you said. I see right through you. Hello, sir, man. You didn't think I'd come back. You didn't think I'd show up with my army and this ammunition on my back. Now that I'm Miss Thing, now that I'm a zillionaire, you scan the credits for your name and wonder why it's not there. You think this song is about you, don't you? Respect. I like that. Yep. It's not about you. I saw right through you from the moment we met. That's funny. I like the opening here.
You know how us Catholic girls
Sophisticated.
can be. Hey, we make up for so much time a little too late. I never forgot it, confusing as it was. No fun with no guilt feeling.
So you kind of move to this one. like this song a lot.
Confess my darkest deeds to an envious man. And my brothers, they never went blind for what they did, but I may as well have in the name of the Father, the skeptic, and the Son. I had one more stupid question. We all had our reasons to be there. We all had a thing or
That guitar playing too.
two to learn. We all needed something
Wow.
to cling to. So we did. What I learned I rejected, but I believe again. I suffer the consequence of this inquisition. If I jump in this fountain, will I be forgiven? We all had our reasons to be there. We all had a thing or two to learn. We all needed something to cling to. So we did. We all had delusions in our heads. We all had our minds made up for us. We had to believe in something. So we did. We all had our reasons to be there. We all had a thing to learn. We all needed something to cling to. So we
We're about halfway through the album at this point. And I'm curious, because obviously by the time you guys are watching this video, I will have obviously listened to the album. Do you think that there's going to be a track on this album, as we listen to the rest of it, that will be better than this? Because Forgiven is a 10 out of 10. This is the best track on the album so far. This displays so much of everything. Her vocal prowess, I think in this track, is just out of this world. And I feel like this is one that would be hard to do live. Just passion, crying out in with such power. This one is the most powerful track I've heard from her so far. Granted, I haven't heard many from her, but this one takes the cake. And I love the guitar playing in this one as well. On this particular track, you have Michael Landau on the guitar, who's worked with many people who may sound familiar to us, such as Joni Mitchell, Pink Floyd, Phil Collins, Michael Jackson, Seal, and the list goes on from there. I mean, just incredible. Love the guitar picking that you hear throughout. I like the intro and how it starts off with just a little bit of a drum beat and some emptiness, some space, a little bit of hollowness there. Like, just really fantastic how we build up that atmosphere. We kind of immediately break it open when we get into the music or when that pops in, but it's not like it changes or takes away. It just exemplifies and amplifies the great music there. The drumming is wonderful. Like everything in this track is just perfect. But once again, as good as the music is on this one, I have to once again kind of fall back to Morissette herself and just how incredible her vocal performance is. I am curious. Sometimes while we're doing reactions, we do little side diversions. We kind of check things out, and I'm curious about something on this one. Alanis, Morissette, Forgiven. I'm gonna see if I can find a live version of this. Wow. Okay, so yes, I found a live version from 1996 with featuring Taylor Hawkins. Wow. We're not going to watch the whole thing due to copyright. I'm already frightened with the copyright with this album. But yeah, she has a little growl. She has a little, like, just in that little bit, you get a nice, clear, great direction of her vocal styling. Like, wow, Taylor. So young there. I guess on one hand, that's close to a Nirvana collab. Oh yeah, man. That's a track. That is a song, man. That's a really awesome one. This is my favorite track so far from her. That's incredible. You know how us Catholic girls can be. We make up for so much time a little too late. I never forgot it, confusing as it was. No fun with no guilt feelings. The sinners, the saviors, the loverless priest. I'll see you next Sunday. All just a routine. We all had our reasons to be there. We all had a thing or two to learn. We all needed something to cling to. So we did. I sang Hallelujah in the choir. I confessed my darkest deeds to an envious man. My brothers, they never went blind for what they did. But I may as well have. Such great lyrics. In the name of the Father, the skeptic, and the Son. I had one more stupid question. This is a great and honest look at her religious upbringing. We all had our reasons to be there. We all need something to cling to, so we did. What I learned, I rejected, but I believe again. I will suffer the consequence of this inquisition if I jump in this fountain. Will I be forgiven if I get baptized, basically? We all had delusions in our heads. We all had our minds made up for us. We had to believe in something, so we did. This is an incredible track on many, many layers. I think that this is fantastic. This is so far the best track on the album. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 2 thumbs up, stars galore. You learn. And you know what? Before I go to the next track, can I say it's one of the lowest streamed tracks, interestingly enough, on this album, coming in at 17 million streams, compared to, like, You Ought to Know, for example, of 343 million. Huh. For such an incredible track, too. All right, You Learn. That is such 90s right there with that beat too. I'm sorry, I keep saying it.
I recommend getting your heart trampled on to anyone.
So that's that synth bass.
Yeah. I recommend walking around naked in your living room. Yeah. Swallow.
There you go.
It feels so good, spinning in your stomach. Wait until the dust settles. You live, you learn, you love, you learn, you cry, you let, you lose, you learn, you bleed, you learn, you scream, you learn.
I like the keyboards and the synth in here.
I recommend sticking your foot in your mouth at any time. Feel free. Hold it down. The notion knocks you from the bed. Hold it up to the place. You wait and see when the smoke clears. You live, you love, you learn, you cry, you learn, you lose, you learn, you bleed, you learn, you scream, you
I like how her yelling going on both sides, panning around.
wear it out. They held it down. The fire trucks are coming up around the bend. You live, you learn, you love, you learn, you cry, you learn, you lose.
I like that. That little yodel.
You scream, you learn, you grieve, you learn, you choke, you learn, you laugh, you laugh, you choose, you learn, you pray, you learn, you ask, you learn, you live, you
You Learn is kind of like a rainy day, but the sun's coming out kind of song because I feel like the drums, or I should say the drum machine, I think it's drum machine in this track. I see Ballard's programming. There might be live drums on this one. I didn't like really look, but either way, like the drums here, it sounded very electronic and kind of reminds me of like a melancholic walk through a city on a rainy day. But then there's a brightness to it with the guitars and of course Alanis singing that kind of raises the sun. It kind of peeks out from the sides, peeks out from behind the clouds, and lets you know there's a little bit of light on the way. And there's a very hopeful tone in the way that she sings in the chorus, in the da-da, you learn, da-da, da-da. Some of the panning back and forth as well, and it gives it a nice surrounding, almost hug-like sound also. So, like, there's a radiance that shines through the cloudiness in this track. And I see that you also have some organ here from Ben Montench, who, when I pull up his Wikipedia, is a founding member of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. So, like, you have some nice ambience in the back that just kind of nicely pushes things along in this track. I really like the break where like she really is allowed to let off a little bit, and her intonations there, besides Kate Bush, who I mentioned previously, kind of remind me of Cranberries lead singer Dolores O'Riordan, and like the kind of melodic yodeling that she would do as well. And I feel like you get something kind of similar in this particular track, which once again, like this is obvious, but it gives character to the music. She herself, not calling her a character, but her character gives the music character. You know what I meant. I recommend getting your heart trampled onto anyone. Yeah, I recommend walking around naked in your living room. Swallow it down. What a jagged little pill. It feels so good swimming in your stomach. Wait until the dust settles. Like right now it feels okay, but wait. You live, you learn, you love, you learn. You cry, you learn. You lose, you learn. You bleed, you learn. You scream, you learn. From all the things, pleasure, pain, and everything in between, you still learn from that. You still gain experience from that. I recommend biting them off more than you can chew to anyone. I certainly do. I recommend sticking your foot in your mouth at any time. I recommend going through these experiences because it's like these are jagged little pills that maybe hard going down, but you're gonna be better after them. Throw it down, the caution blocks you from the wind. Hold it up to the rays, and you wait and see when the smoke clears. Wear it out, the way a 3-year-old would do. Melt it down, you're gonna have to eventually anyway. The fire trucks are coming up around the bend. And then at the end, you grieve, you learn, you choke, you learn, you laugh, you learn, you choose, you pray, you ask, you live. So what's also interesting about the outro, it's a reversal. In the beginning, it starts from, let's say, good things, living, loving, going to bad things, to negative things, crying, losing, bleeding, and screaming. But at the end, it goes the opposite way. You grieve, you choke, laugh, choose, pray, ask, live. So there's a nice contrast there in how it, first it's about, learning from experience and, things kind of going downhill in a sense, but you're still learning. But then once you gain enough experience and you really, really understand and learn, you can use that to spin it positively. Says that this is the album's 4th single in North America and 2nd single in Japan and 3rd in the UK. They kind of shuffled these singles around, huh? The lyrics state that valuable lessons are learned from poor decisions. It's first released in Japan in September of 95 and issued throughout worldwide the following year. Interesting. I wonder what the decision was to release it first in Japan. Obviously, she had some great reception there with previous music, so that must have a part in it. During her stay in LA to record this track, she was robbed on an empty street by a man with a gun, after which she developed intense general anxiety and suffered daily panic attacks, of course. She was hospitalized, attended physical therapy sessions to no avail. As she later says, she focused all her inner problems on the soul-bearing lyrics of the album for her health. Wow. Didn't know that. It says the song's drum beat samples Mr. Loverman by Shabba Ranks. Is that Mr. Lover Lover? Is that song? It was not an instant success. It was chosen as the 4th single. It goes from there. A mid-tempo self-help rock song. And she gives some advice in there. And there's your chart information as usual. Yeah, no live drums, just the electronics on this one from Ballard. All right, let's move on into the next song here. I was going to say track and then song. It came out Trong. Head Over Feet. Can I tell you, a few days ago, I was walking in the house, and I just randomly had this thought to myself, and I said, I wonder if I can still do a cartwheel or like a handstand. I wonder if I can still do a handstand. I didn't do it. I didn't try. I'm kind of curious if I can still do it. No. Okay. Yep. Let's not try that again. Too old for that. I feel like I'm going to feel that in the morning.
I had no choice but to hear you. You stated your case time and again. I thought about it. You treat me like I'm a princess. I'm not used to lying that. You ask how my day was. You've already won me over in spite of me. And don't be alarmed if I fall head over feet. And don't be surprised if I love you for all that you are. I couldn't help it. It's all your fault.
Tell him.
Your love is thick and it swallowed me whole. You're so much braver than I gave you credit for.
I really like that synth bass.
Lip service. You've already won me over in spite of me. And don't be alarmed if I fall head over feet. unconditional things. You held your breath and the door for me. Thanks for your patience.
First, I didn't know what the sound was. It's a nice solo, too.
You're the best listener that I've ever met. You're my best friend with benefits. What took me so long? I've never felt this healthy before. I've never wanted something rational. I am aware now. I am aware now. You've already won me over in spite of me. And don't be alarmed if I fall head over feet. And don't be surprised if I love you for all that you are. I couldn't help it. It's all your fault. You've already won me over in spite of me. And don't be alarmed if I fall head over feet. And don't be surprised if I love you for all that you are. I couldn't help it. It's all your fault. La, la, yeah, I couldn't help it. It's all your fault.
I feel like, okay, at this point in the album, Head Over Feet is my least favorite track on the album so far. I feel like it could almost be a track I'd really like, but in the end, I don't really care for it. Only because I'm not finding anything really overly interesting in this track. I think it's very much a nice song. I just don't feel like much sticks out from it. Yeah, we get the harmonica again, which is, always welcome, and we get a nice solo in there. For some reason, I'm not feeling the drum beat in this one, the electronic drums, the programming and such. There's something about it I don't quite like in this track, but it's close. I really can't say what it is, but there's something I want to like more than I do. Yeah, we get the guitar drifting in the back. Like, okay, like we've heard it before, at this particular point. So I'm like, okay, it's fine, but I feel like some of the other tracks, like we could be doing so much more. This just comes across as, all right, fine. I see it's another single from the album. That's fine. I could hear it being a single. I could hear a lot of tracks being a good single from this album, but this one just doesn't do anything for me. I honestly feel like it's fine. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't feel any, negativity towards it in that regard. I just don't feel anything at it for this one. I had no choice but to hear you. You stated your case time and again. I thought about it. You treat me like I'm a princess. I'm not used to liking that. You ask how my day was. Just getting a good, this is what a good relationship's supposed to feel like. You've already won me over in spite of me. And don't be alarmed if I fall head over feet. Don't be surprised if I love you for all that you are. I couldn't help it. It's all your fault. I like this. This is like her finding a healthy relationship. Your love is thick. It swallowed me whole. You're so much braver than I gave you credit for. That's not lip service. I mean that. You are the bearer of unconditional things. You held your breath and the door for me. Thanks for your patience. I love the simplicity of that line. You're the best listener I've ever met. You're my best friend of benefits. What took me so long? I've never felt this healthy before. I never wanted something rational. I'm aware now. I didn't know it could be like this. And it just repeats from there. I like how she says it's all your fault. It's all you. It's the album's 5th single. It talks about being best friends and lovers with someone at the same time, with Alanis thanking them for their manners, love, and devotion. Received positive response from critics who described it as soft and light. Yeah, it's soft and light, but so is a soft light bulb, soft white light bulb. Became her first #1 hit on the US Billboard Top 40 and also topped the Top 40 mainstream chart. Like I said, I could easily see why this, hit the charts and be a top one, but in the span of the album, I don't think it stands out. Let's see. We're getting the same story about their meeting here. It tells the tale of a couple who are best friends as well as lovers. The song is the earliest known use of the term friend with benefits. Really? It's kind of interesting. It's kind of made its way into the cultural zeitgeist, huh? Of course, there's your chart. This album is, man, it rocked the charts, huh? But not with Forgiven. Not with Forgiven. More people should hear that one. Mary Jane. Let's hear her thoughts, as Mr. Nick would say.
What's the matter, Mary Jane? Had a hard day. As you place the don't disturb sign on the door. You lost your place in line again. What a pity. You never seem to want to dance anymore.
Hitting that beat in 5/8, huh? Kind of cool to have such an unusual time signature in a song like this. I really like how she's progressed, like trying something new here. It's an interesting sway to it with that rhythm. That's good.
Are you heavy?
Such vulnerability.
Please don't censor your tears.
This is a really nice ambience right here. That's moving.
So take this moment, Mary Jane.
I like that.
Don't be selfish. Worry not about the cars that go by. 'Cause all that matters, Mary Jane, is your freedom. So keep warm, my dear.
waver voice there too. Okay. I'm also going to say that Mary Jane is also one of the top tracks on this album. There is such an expansiveness to the air in the music and the way that she sings and approaches it. These beautifully long, almost folk like wailings from her are incredibly moving, feel so pure, and just moves over the air and the sky of this song incredibly. I also really like how the drum beat is in 5/8 or something of 5. I think that is so cool to involve a weird time signature in a pop album. I think that is really cool to do such something so unique, and the way that she maneuvers around it is gorgeous. It's so talented how she does it. And you get once again another huge facet of her voice and her singing. And like, yeah, we've gotten some more abstract and experimental tones and deliveries from her from like the beginning of the album and such. But like this is one where she just beautifully belts it out. And there's something intimate about parts of the verse, but there's something soaring and inspirational about, some of the more atmospheric moments in here. And I like how that drum just marches along with its pattern there. Like that's a really fantastic track. And I can't speak for the second half of the album so much because we have a few more songs to go. But it seems like the first half of the album we were punching hard, and we're still hitting hard, but it seems to have a nuanced approach in some ways as we move forward here. And there's a really nice well of maturity that comes through in here. What's the matter, Mary Jane? You had a hard day. As you placed the don't disturb sign on the door, you lost your place in line again. What a pity. You never seem to want to dance anymore. It's a long way down on this roller coaster. The last chance streetcar went off the track, and you're on it. Mary Jane's just had one of those days. I hear you're counting sheep again, Mary Jane. What's the point of trying to dream anymore? I hear you're losing weight again, Mary Jane. Do you ever wonder who you're losing it for? Like Mary Jane, whoever this represents, is in a bad place. Well, it's full speed, baby, in the wrong direction. There's a few more bruises if that's the way you insist on heading. Be honest. Are you happy? Please don't censor your tears. I like the whether this is literally towards another person that she cares about, or something more, maybe more symbolic or metaphorical. I really like the amount of care and heart that she shows in the lyrics, and I think that nicely comes through in the way that she sings as well. There's an honesty and a truthfulness to it. You're the sweet crusader and you're on your way. You're the last great innocent, and that's why I love you. So take this moment, Mary Jane, and be selfish. Like, be selfish in this moment. Don't worry about others. Don't lose weight for others, and, do this for yourself. Worry not about the cars that go by, because all that matters, Mary Jane, is your freedom. So keep warm, my dear, keep dry. Tell me what's the matter, Mary Jane. Tell me. Please be honest, Mary Jane. Let's see if there's anything, if this is about an actual person, or... In the Spotify series, The Real Story of Jagged Little Pill, Alanis describes the song as saying, it was my empathy for the feminine, for the vulnerable, and the self-care, particularly for those who are service-oriented and generous, and the orientation in life is to give and ask questions later. For the people who are in a position of service for their career or otherwise, just a reminder to take care. How wonderfully respectful and how honorable of her to do that. It was slightly influenced by a friend of mine at the time, just watching how sweet she was to me and sweet she was to everybody. And then she would go home at night and be really depleted, giving herself to others, but not saving enough for herself. And in my case, I would go home and be really depressed. So I just thought There was something that needed to be said about the self-care needing to be upped and the empathy. I really like that. That's really, really thoughtful in a big way. The way that she was thinking here. Let's move into the next track here. Ironic. Here we go.
An old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain.
Oh, I've heard this. I didn't recognize any at the beginning, but I recognize this. There's that little bit of rock that comes through.
Mr. Play It Safe was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase.
That little track, man.
His kids goodbye. He waited his whole damn life to take that flight. And as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain.
That's that big anthemic in the song, man.
It's a free ride on your already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? Life is a funny worry. No sneaking up on you when you think everything's okay and everything's gone right. And life is a funny way. Nobody halfway, I think everything's gone wrong and everything blows up in your face.
Like that little filter there coming through.
Traffic jam when you're already late. A no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? A little too ironic.
Really love how she swings to that
Yeah, I
falsetto.
really do think it's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride on your already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? And yeah, life is a funny word sneaking up on you. Yeah, life is a funny, funny way of helping you out, helping you out.
I didn't realize it until the chorus came in, but okay, so I've heard this song as well with Ironic. With that chorus, da-da-da-da-da, whoa, ooh. Let me not ever try to sing that again. Da-da-da-da-da. Let me not try. This is kind of another powerhouse, like You Ought to Know, with the big chorus. I'm going to say it again, drenched in that 90s alt-rock kind of style and such. And it's a fun one. I think because I've heard this track, I couldn't tell you where, but I've heard it in somewhere in my life. Like this one is one of those tracks that seems to have like always been there and always been around. And I can't tell you, like I said, where I've heard it, but has it been featured in a commercial? Maybe I've heard it in a commercial or like in a movie or something. But it's one of those tracks that just exists. It's just always been there. And it's kind of hard for me to like look at it in more of a, I guess, objective-ish kind of way. I like the chorus. I like how big it sounds. I like the guitar playing in there. I really like her singing in the way that she so smoothly slips into that little falsetto. Like she perfected that. You got to admit, she perfected that in this track. I love the little moments where she speaks to herself in a little soliloquy. Like, once again, a lot of character and a lot of personality involved. Just from her performance in the track. But otherwise, everything else sounds great. Nice guitar, big drums, big chorus. I got no problem with it. I'm curious to see if this. I'm curious if this has like been featured somewhere specifically. Maybe that's where I've heard it. An old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon 2 minutes late. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? Is that literally considered irony? Or is that just bad timing? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride when you've already paid. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figures? I love the way that she swings her voice when she says it figures, kind of with that attitude, like an attitude swing. I really like that. It's like swinging a vocal morning star. Mr. Play It Safe was afraid to fly. He packed his suitcase, kissed his kids goodbye. He waited his whole life to take that flight, and as the plane crashed down, he thought, well, isn't this nice? Isn't it ironic, don't you think? Life has a funny way of sneaking up on you when you think everything's okay and everything's going right. Life has a funny way of helping you out when you think everything's gone wrong and everything blows up in your face. A traffic jam when you're already late, a no smoking sign on your cigarette break. It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. It's meeting the man of my dreams and then meeting his beautiful wife. What a line. Also, I really like this, the 10,000 spoons when you need a knife, because oftentimes I'm trying to eat a salad and I have my lunchbox with me. And somehow I always forget my fork, but I got knives and I got spoons. Somehow I still eat that salad. It says the fourth single from the album. Lyrics present unfortunate situations labeled as ironic, prompting debate whether they reflect the accepted meaning of irony. That's what I was saying. For 6 weeks, the track topped the Canadian RPM 100 hit tracks chart, becoming the second most successful song of the year in the country. Of course, it has some other accolades as well. Let's see. Ironic was the third song we wrote, so God, we were just having fun. I thought, I don't know what this is, what genre it is. Who knows? It's just good. Morissette said Ironic was penned as a warm-up and not intended to be recorded for the album, but many encouraged her to do it because of its tune. She considers the lyrics to be non-autobiographical and more akin to storytelling, although she liked the music. An anthemic alt-rock and bubbling folk track song with Cocteau Twins style sound. I don't know if I hear that in that. We're pushing. Come on. I don't hear Cocteau Twins in that. Linguistic dispute, of course, about the whole irony thing. Wow. Okay, I mentioned it as an aside, but I didn't know it was like going to be a full-on. Okay, it's a full-on thing there. Let's just leave that alone. Man, this album was on fire in the charts, wasn't it? Almost like every song has something. All right, Not the Doctor. No, not the Doctor. I don't know why that's what I thought. Not the Doctor.
I don't wanna be the filler if the void is solely yours.
Good line.
I don't wanna be your glass of single malt whiskey hidden in the bottom drawer. And I don't wanna be a bandage if the wound is not mine. Lend me some fresh air. I don't wanna be adored for what I merely represent to you. I don't wanna be a babysitter, you're a very big boy now. I don't wanna be your mother, I didn't carry you in my womb for 9 months. Show me the back door. Visiting hours are 9 to 5, and if I show up at 6:10, will I already know that you would find some way to sneak me in there?
Tell 'em.
ask for and I am not that actor.
Not just a coat you pick up whenever you want.
I don't wanna be the sweeper of the eggshells that you walk upon, and I don't wanna be your other half. I believe that one and one make two. I don't wanna be your food or the light from the fridge on your face at midnight. Hey, what are you hungry for? I don't wanna be the glue that holds your pieces together. I don't wanna be your idol. See, this pedestal is high and I'm afraid of heights. I don't wanna be lived through a vicarious occasion. Please open the window. Visiting hours are 9 to 5, and if I show up at 10 past 6, well, I already know that you'd find some way to sneak me in and
Tell 'em.
mind the empty bottle with the holes along the bottom. You see, it's too much to ask for, and I am not that actor. I am not
She starts off so calmly,
that.
but then by the end, by the chorus,
I don't wanna live
let it
on
go.
Sunday when my motto is last week, and I don't wanna be responsible for your fractured heart and its wounded beat, and I don't wanna be a substitute for the smoke you've been inhaling. Well, what do you thank me? What do you thank me for? Visiting hours are 9 to 5, and if I show up at 10 past 6, well, I already know that you'll find some way to sneak me in and
Somehow.
mind the empty bottle with the holes along the bottom. You say it's too much to ask for, and I am not that actor. Ooh, I am not
some of her run-on sentences and lyricism reminds me a little bit of Joni Mitchell, actually, of the way that she handled that and the way that she calmly and poetically and very relaxed just kind of runs into that stream of consciousness kind of style that we've heard, throughout the album. But there's a calmness here that she really exudes really, really nicely. I don't like the electronic drum in here. It just sounds, I don't know, it just sounds like at odds kind of with the style that she's going for. I don't know. It's one element that I feel like it just didn't work in this track. Otherwise, mood is wonderful. I love the kind of quiet but springiness of the guitar as it plays, and obviously she's the standout with just the mood that she sets and the way that she sings. And I really like how the verse is so quiet in what she's saying, and still the anger is still there, but like it's just quieter. She's just kind of reasonably explaining herself. I don't want to just be, a coat that you pick up and put down when you want, from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I want to be more than that. But then she really lets it go in the chorus, and that's where she really no, really, are you listening to what I'm saying? And so I like how we kind of switch between the styles of, she's kind of keeping her head cool. She's not, but then like almost like this other person's not listening. She's just like, Bop, let me actually tell you. let me hit you with the lyrical backhand if you're not going to pay attention to what I'm saying and listen to me. That's at least I'm not, well, she tells you all the things that she's not. I don't want to be the filler if the void is solely yours. Like, this is your void. You're mess to handle. Don't call me. I don't want to be your glass of single malt whiskey hidden in the bottom drawer. I don't want to be a bandage if the wound isn't mine. Lend me some fresh air. You can't just pull me out when you need me. I don't want to be adored, Stone Roses, for what I merely represent to you. I don't want to be your babysitter. You're a very big boy now. I don't want to be your mother. I didn't carry you in my womb for 9 months. Show me the back door. Get me out of here. And when she says, show me the back door, like, you're using me. Don't use me to fix your problems. Visiting hours are 9 to 5. And if I show up 10 past 6, well, I already know that you'd find some way to sneak me in. Mind the empty bottle with the holes along the bottom. You see, it's too much to ask for, and I am not a doctor. Just being used. I don't want to be the sweeper of the eggshells you have to walk upon. That's a great line. I don't want to be your other half. I believe that 1 and 1 make 2. Yeah, I'm not trying to be a part of you. We're individuals. I don't want to be your food or the light from the fridge on your face at midnight. That's great imagery. She has some really great imagery as well. I don't want to be the glue that holds your pieces together. Don't want to be your idol. See, this pedestal is high and I'm afraid of heights. I don't want to be lived through a vicarious occasion. Please open the window, like let me out. I don't want to live on someday when my motto is last week. I don't want to be responsible for your fractured heart and its wounded beat. Don't want to be a substitute for the smoke you've been inhaling. Well, what do you think me? What do you thank me for? Like smoke, when you're smoking, people smoke for pleasure, but it still harms them. So he's using her for pleasure when obviously it's harming really her. But in a sense, both of them. Phenomenal lyrics. She's a really great writer. Let's move into the next track here. Wake Up.
You like snow, but only
Those drums.
it's warm. You like rain, but only if it's dry. There's no sentimental value to the rose that fell on your throat. There's no fundamental excuse for the granted I'm taking for. 'Cause it's easy not to, so much easier not to. And what goes around never comes around till you.
Like little bass riff. I like how ominous the guitar is there.
You like pain, but only if
The bass.
doesn't hurt too much. And you sit and you wait to receive. There's an obvious attraction to the path of least resistance in your.
It's like she vocally skips stones in that part. She's just
Well, there's an obvious aversion on my mind, on my insistence.
right?
Make you try tonight. 'Cause it's easy not to. So much easier not to. And what goes around never comes around till you. To you. To you. To you. To you.
Really like that bass part. I feel like we have some kind of cool, interesting little musical ideas in this track as well.
There's no love, no money, no thrill anymore. Well, there's an apprehensive, naked little trembling boy with his head in his hands. And there's an underestimated and impatient little girl raising her hand.
That push in the bass reinforcing it. Backing vocals from her.
Wake up.
Ooh, kind of cut off a little bit there for a quick second. I like the push to action in this one. Okay, musically, there's some really nice ideas in this one. I really like the way the bass is performing here. Who's playing bass on this track? I should look that up real quick. Track 12. Bass on this one is going to be Lance Morrison. Okay, really like the bass playing on here. And that guitar playing as well. Really nice because it kind of creates, in some parts, a little bit of a more ominous atmosphere melodically as opposed to a lot of the previous tracks here and the previous melodies. I just really like the way they play. There's a little section in the middle as well when it kind of hits that break where it has a little bit more of an experimental focus for a few moments, and it only lasts for a little bit, and then it kind of cuts back into kind of what was happening before. But I wish that was expanded upon, because instrumentally, like, there's some moments here that could have really lend itself to a wider breadth of use there. Just would have sounded really cool. I also really like the way that Alanis kind of, I said it was like skipping stones across a pond. Like the way that she skips her vocals across the chorus in here sounds really pleasing to listen to and very satisfying as she handles that. It comes out in a really, like, a perfectly flowing pattern as her lyrics skip across the pond of music here. That I think was really nice. You do have live drums from Matt Logg, but it also sounded like you had some electronics back there as well. I don't like the electronic part. That's just me. But when his drums are kicking, we're in a good place. But I wish that there was some more room instrumentally on this one, because it sounded like they were kind of cooking something a little bit there. But a good track nonetheless. You like snow, but only if it's warm. You like rain, but only if it's dry. There's no sentimental value to the rose that fell on your floor. There's no fundamental excuse for the granted I'm taken for. That's a sharp one. Because it's not easy. Because it's easy not to. It's so much easier not to. And what goes around never comes around to you. You like pain, but only if it doesn't hurt too much. You sit and you wait to receive. Comfortable. But you gotta wake up, darling. There's an obvious attraction to the path of least resistance in your life, but there's an obvious aversion. No amount of my insistence can make you try tonight. Because it's easy not to. So much easier not to. Someone that's very privileged, living a very comfortable life. At the end, they're saying, wake up. That's not real life. No love, no money, no thrill anymore. Well, there's an apprehensive, naked little trembling boy with his head in his hands. There's an underestimated and impatient little girl raising her hand. It's easy not to. It's easier not to. Get up off it. Sounds like a James Brown song. Get up off it. Get up. Sorry. Enough already. Get up off it, and wake up. Slap back to reality. Let us move into the final track of the album, which is You Ought to Know, but this time it also has Jimmy the Saint blend and Your House a cappella. Okay.
I want you to know that I'm
The bass is different, that's for sure.
I wish nothing but the best for you both. I know the version of me. Is she perverted like me? Would she go down on you in a theater? Does she speak eloquently?
She's doing it again.
And would she have your baby? I'm sure she'd make a really excellent mother. 'Cause the love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it enough for you to be open wide. No. And every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me you'd hold her till you died? Till you died. But you're still alive.
I mean, I'm not opposed to listening to it again. The bass is a little bit more prevalent.
It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you did to me. You ought to know. You seem
I like the way the bass is a little higher here.
things look peaceful. I'm not quite as well. I thought you should know. Did you forget about me, Mr. Duplicity? I hate to bug you in the middle of dinner. There was a slap in the face. How quickly I was replaced. And are you thinking of me when you fuck her? 'Cause the love that you gave that we made wasn't able to make it.
So there's really nothing like different about this.
Open wide.
Give me the same one.
And every time you speak her name, does she know how you told me?
Like musically.
Till you died.
At least not yet.
Till you died, but you're still alive. And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You ought to know.
So it's the same pretty much. Okay. It seems like a little louder. Maybe that's the blend. But it's an 8-minute song.
'Cause the joke that you made in the bed that was made, and I'm not gonna fade as soon as you close your eyes. And you know it. Every time I scratch my nails down someone else's back, I hope you feel it. Well, can you feel it? Well, I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You ought to know I'm here to remind you of the mess you left when you went away. It's not fair to deny me of the cross I bear that you gave to me. You ought to know.
Okay, then we got a cappella. I hear an airplane going above. Is it one of those hidden tracks at the end of the album? I'll give it a few more seconds to see if anything starts. If not, I think it's a hidden track. I gotta see if that is. I'm looking. Trying to find out. Only appears as a hidden track on the album. I'm looking at Wikipedia. All right. I'm going to skip a little bit ahead to where maybe the actual music starts.
Open
Oh.
your door.
Okay.
I went to your house. I walked up the stairs. I opened your door without ringing the bell. I walked down the hall into your room where I could smell you, and I shouldn't be here without permission. I shouldn't be here. Would you forgive me, love, if I dance in your shower? Would you forgive me, love, if I laid in your bed? Would you forgive me, love, if if I stay all afternoon.
It's great singing.
I took off my clothes, put on your robe, and through your drawers, and I found your cologne. Went down to the den, found your CDs, and I played your Johnny. And I shouldn't stay long. You might be home soon. I shouldn't stay long. Would you forgive me, love, if I dance in your shower? Would you forgive me, love, if I laid in your bed? Would you forgive me, love, if I stay all afternoon? I burn your incense, I ran a bath, I noticed a letter that sat on your desk. It said, hello, love, I love you so, love. Meet me at midnight. And no, it wasn't my writing. I better go soon. It wasn't my writing. So forgive me, love, if I cry in your shower. So forgive me, love, for the salt in your bed. So forgive me, love, if I cry all afternoon.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Jagged Little Pill. Put it in your mouth. Take a big swig. Swallow it down. Alanis Morissette, full album reaction complete. Okay, the You Ought to Know Jimmy the Saint blend, I'm assuming it's just a different mix of the track. It sounded like the bass was a little bit louder and some parts were louder and different, but musically it's still the same. But let's talk about Your House. I love that we end the album with just an a cappella track. And I'm going to put Your House as one of the best tracks on the album. The way that it allows her voice to just be isolated, vulnerable, naked in front of us as the audience, and the lyrics, the way that she sings, I think is intense. I think that you could argue that this is the most vocally intense song on the album. Maybe not literally in a technical point of view, but emotionally, just bearing it all. And she's bared a lot throughout this album, but doing it without any musical accompaniment is completely different. And she does it exquisitely. Like it felt heart-wrenching to listen to her, you know? Just really beautifully cathartic, her approach there. And I love that she ended the album in that regard. And it's a 90s album, so of course it's a hidden track here. I went to your house, walked up the stairs, opened your door without ringing the bell. There's a little bit of a breaking and entering happening also. Walked down the hall into your room where I could smell you, and I shouldn't be here without permission. I shouldn't be here. Would you forgive me, love, if I danced in your shower? Would you forgive me, love, if I laid in your bed? Would you forgive me, love, if I stay all afternoon? Took off my clothes, put on your robe, went through the drawers, and I found your cologne. Went down to the den, found your CDs, and I played your Joni. Little Joni Mitchell for you, keeping it blue. I shouldn't stay long, you might be home soon, I shouldn't stay. This is the hard one. Burned your incense, I ran a bath, I noticed a letter that sat on your desk. It said, hello, love, I love you so. Love, meet me at midnight. And no, it wasn't my writing. I'd better go soon, it wasn't my writing. Like I said, there's a bit of a breaking and entering happening here. You know, it's a bit much. But it hits all the same. Really, really fantastic writing in this track and on the album in general. Let's look at a little bit of the information about the album. We've, of course, Read a little bit about some of the songs here. Let's see. It marks a significant stylistic departure from the dance pop sound of her first two efforts, Alanis and Now's the Time. She began work on the album, of course, after moving from her hometown, Ottawa, to LA, where she met Ballard. And it goes on from there. Okay, let's see. It received 9 Grammy Award nominations, of which it won 5 Album of the Year, making her the youngest artist to win the award at the time. Best Rock Album, Best Female Rock Vocal Performance, Best Rock Song, and Best Long-Form Music Video. Like I said, a lot of success in this particular album. Let's see, a lot of this we kind of read already, actually. The duo sought to write and record 1 song a day in 12 or 16-hour shifts with minimal overdubbing at later. All of Morissette's singing on the album respects that rule, each recorded in 1 or 2 takes. The first song to be shown to A&R, the record company people, was Perfect, with a simple arrangement containing only Morissette's vocals and Ballard's acoustic guitar. In '94, they took demos to a studio and began working on full band arrangements. Goes on from there. Osiris said he got interested in working with Morissette right at the beginning of Perfect, which he would later describe as the first time I heard anyone tell stories that way and express themselves in such a manner. And within 2 days, she was signed. We went over that stuff. All right, so listen. It's a big album. Katy Perry cites Jagged Little Pill as significant music inspiration. In a stage adaptation, in 2013, it was revealed a theater adaptation of the album was being adapted for stage. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Okay, I suppose I can see it. Favorite tracks on the album. You guys already know where I'm throwing my darts. Top track on the album is Forgiven. There's no doubt in my mind that is a 10 out of 10 perfect track. Incredible. After that, I would say Mary Jane. Honestly, I would put Your House right under that. And then You Ought to Know if I had to choose a fourth. And I will choose a fourth. So Forgiven, Mary Jane, Your House, and You Ought to Know. Those are my 4 top tracks. Those are my picks on the album. But what are you picking? And don't tell me your nose. Let me know, of course, down in the comments below. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. If you don't mind pressing that like button before you head out, it helps a great deal and goes a long way. The Buy Me a Coffee is here, of course. If you'd like to sponsor a song request, you can do so over there. Subway Goddess, thank you so much for the request, for the support. I truly appreciate that. Hopefully, this wasn't blocked. But only because I see that the last time I listened to Miss Morissette, it was blocked. I'm hoping this isn't, but obviously if it is, we'll still get it out to you. And that's it. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.